Hi, this is Jason here at RoofSnap,
Hi, and Katrina here with you.
and we are going to be showing you some of the cool new functionality in our RoofSnap web app.
Yes.
Katrina, where should we start?
I'd like to see how to start a project and get our aerial image of the roof.
All
Get
right.
some measurements.
All right, let's do that. So it all starts by creating a new project. And as you can see, I've transitioned over here. This is the RoofSnap web app, app.roofsnap.com. And to start a new project, and I don't think you can see my mouse in this tutorial, but down here in the bottom right-hand corner is a plus button with a circle around it. And when you click on that, it's going to open up this window. And Katrina, I think we should go ahead and move this over into our demo office where our
good.
pricing exists.
Yes.
All right, and then let's go ahead and give this a name. And then, Katrina, do you have an address for me by any chance that I could use?
Yeah, I do. Let's do 3700 Florian Drive.
All right, and then I'm going to go into tab over to city, tab down, Ohio. And what's the zip for that?
43219.
Perfect. All right, now we have other fields. We can click on the More button if we want to be able to add billing information or insurance details, but really the address is all we need to show you how to get started. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Create. And some of this will look familiar to our Android users and even our iOS users. These are all the different tabs that we have for the project, and I'm going to go right into the sketch screen. So the first thing we need to do once we come into the sketch screen here is zoom in. And if we're not super excited about the Google image, which for this one actually isn't that bad, but whenever Nearmap is available, of course, Katrina and I always like to go in and purchase, of one of these available dates, purchase that $5 image from Nearmap. And you'll see, as soon as I complete this purchase, that we're going to get a slightly higher magnification level here, and all the leaves are just going to fall off the trees.
Nice.
Now a little bit of shadow and maybe a few leaves because this is a November image. So let's go ahead and move it over to an early spring image. And it loads. Now the good thing about Nearmap is it's such high resolution that we can even magnify one more time. So we'll click on that plus button and boom, there, it's much higher resolution at that point.
Wonderful.
So these red lines are specifically on screen here so that we can use these rotation buttons and get this image as square in the screen as possible. And I feel like that is dead on.
Looking good.
Yep, so we'll go ahead and move the image back to the center. And once we've completed aligning the image and selecting the date, then we'll click on Save Image. Can't go back after you save the image, so make sure it's nice and straight before you click on that.
Yep, take a little bit of time there. It'll save you a lot of time sketching.
Now it opens us right up in the draw screen, or in the sketch screen here, and we'll navigate over to the draw button, which you'll see along this top menu bar in the blue. When we're in draw, now whenever we put the cursor within the image, we have this these big crosshairs. To start the first line, you're going to, let's say you're using your mouse, you're going to left click, and that's going to start the first line. If you're using a trackpad, you're just going to one finger click on your trackpad. Again, depending on what kind of model, and certainly there are different settings for trackpads and your mouse, but with standard setup, it's left click to start and stop each line. And when you stop a line, it just dovetails the very next line. All right, so I'm going to make my way back to the starting point. So I'm going to come up this hip and left click, come up this ridge, left click, up this hip, across this ridge, and down this last hip. And you'll see when my cursor gets close, it's actually sort of going to snap right to that corner point, and the little red circle has gotten bigger, letting me know that I am indeed connected. Now I've drawn another line. I could continue down this direction, or if I want to drop that line, I can right click. Right click's going to make that line go away. If you're using a trackpad, that's going to be, what, Katrina? Two finger click. Two finger click on the trackpad. Then, when you're ready to continue drawing, just bring your cursor back to a point where you left off. You'll see it go to that larger red circle again, and left click on it, and then bring it down, and just continue to left click. And again, I'm going to reach a stopping point here. I don't want to continue drawing, so I'm going to right click to drop that line. Then I'm going to come back here to where I left off on that valley and come to this outside corner. You don't have to draw RoofSnap in any particular order. I know I'm all over the place right now, but I just want to show you that, RoofSnap doesn't require you to, draw valleys twice, draw hips twice, to outline different sections of the roof. You can really just draw it in any order. As long as you connect all the lines together, it will enclose all of the facets. And I want to click over to facets here real quick to show you what I mean about enclosing. So because I did not draw in this eave, you'll see that this one section is still not shaded in blue, but every other section is, and it's got a little zero. When I come back to draw, and I draw in this last eave edge line, and then I go to facets, you'll see that now everything is shaded in blue and I have a 012. Now I want everyone to know that if you've only gotten to this point in your sketch, just yellow lines and no pitch values, you will not have accurate measurements. And this is very important. Until you put in pitch values and label your edge types, RoofSnap will not calculate measurements correctly. And let me show you why. So when I come into facets, I will go here to pitch, and I know this roof to be a 412, so I'm going to go ahead and click the plus button next to 412, which will apply it to all facets. And then I'm going to come over here to edges. And let's go ahead and zoom in on this hip over here. It says it's 24.4 feet, but as soon as I label it as a hip, so I've selected hip under edges and then I click right on the line, it grew to 25 feet. All right, so one of the things I want to back up on here a second is when you are drawing the roof, you do have the ability to make adjustments. So to start with, I don't quite love exactly where this intersection happens, so I'm going to right click on it and it picks it up and I can move it around.
Wonderful.
If I decide I don't want to move its location, I can just right click again and it'll pop right back to where it was.
Great.
But let me just refine it a little bit. So let's say I want to bring it, oh, it's snapping to everything.
The good thing is you can actually turn 90 mode off when you're doing these fine adjustments like that.
All right, I feel like that's as close as I'm going to get it. The other thing is, let's say you've drawn a line or two lines and you don't like where they went and you want to just undo it. Well, there's undo and redo buttons here at the top, so you can just quickly tap on undo. Now let's say a line that you drew a very long time ago, 10 lines ago, is incorrect and you need to delete that line. Well, you're just going to navigate over here to edges, come down here to delete edge, and click on that line. All right, so Katrina, now you tell them all the cool stuff that we're going to do here with labeling up these edge types.
Yeah, so you'll see Jason has selected ice and water shield and eve edge to assign to his eve lines here. What this does basically is connect categories of materials that you can specify on your account, basically to set up the estimating side. So these are attached to different materials and it is starting that account for different categories of materials. So ridge vent, you'll notice he's putting on the ridges here, ice and water shield, differentiating, he wants that in the eaves and on the valleys. So you start making a running tab of the materials you need and it kind of ties into the estimating side and the functionality available there.
Yeah, we call it the use measurement and it connects the category of materials for the different line types to the actual estimate items that you'll place into your estimate when you build that in RoofSnap. So at this point, having all of our lines labeled and all of our pitches, we will get back accurate measurements for this roof. So at this point, we can go ahead and click on the Done button, and it's going to save the sketch, all of the images back to our project. And we would like to take one more moment and show you how to create the sketch report. This is a PDF document that's going to be very similar to any other measurement report service that you may order measurements from. So let me go to the documents, come down to the bottom right-hand corner and click on the plus button and go ahead and generate the sketch report. Yeah. And then it spins and we wait here for just a couple seconds because you do have to have an active internet connection to use RoofSnap, to use the web app. So let's go ahead and just click on the sketchreport.pdf and it's going to download it. And it'll take just another 2 seconds here to download the PDF, saved to, at least on my Mac here, saved to my downloads folder. And then I can open it up right within a new tab. RoofSnap is going to display your logo, currently our logo in our sample account, but your logo on the document, the customer's information, address, the salesman and the company's information and email address and so forth. primary image that you used to draw the roof, that nice near map image. Then a breakdown of the roof by pitch for each facet. And then all of the measurement details of the roof. Line totals, line lengths. We came up with a 10% waste. We've got just over 31 squares for this roof. And then the next page is a breakdown of the roof by its area per facet. And then finally, we do have an assessment page. And if you were to pin different accessory items like box vents or soil pipe boots or skylight flashing kits to the roof, and even go as far as adding photos and notes, that information would appear on the assessment page. But we'll highlight that in a little more detail in the next video. Certainly we have quite a few more tutorial videos that we're going to make for the new web app, so stay tuned.
Yes, thanks so much, Jason, for showing us how this works. And if you guys have any questions out there, please feel free to call us at 877-RoofSnap or email us at support@roofsnap.com. We'd love to hear from you.
Great. Thanks so much for joining us today, and we'll see you guys soon.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.